I murdered the neighbor.
Did you tell your mom what happened, or how did she find out?
I mean, she knows what. She noticed that I did.
This is 18-year-old Hector Mungia, realizing in real time that his plans of getting away with the murder of 70-year-old Zale Underwood have gone up in flames, all because his own mother turned him in.
I don't know, but she just decided to turn me in.
And thanks to that, they will finally be able to get answers for what happened to Zale. But no one in this room knows that this teenager isn't just a murderer, he is a psychopath.
When did you know that you were going to go kill someone?
Yeah, yo.
And when did the voices start?
A couple of years back. I would always try to do, I would try to kill somebody before, but they wouldn't come successful.
On the afternoon of April 22, 2022, a woman in Kennewick, Washington walked outside to her family's lawn and saw something no one should ever have to see. A young man was attacking her relative with a knife, a 70-year-old Zale Underwood who had simply been mowing his lawn. The moment the attacker spotted her, he ran. She immediately called 911. Tragically, by the time the paramedics arrived, 70-year-old Zale was already gone. Zale had lived on that block for nearly all of his life. His family had owned the 2 adjoining properties on that block since the early 1960s. Zale, his parents, and his siblings had grown up there. The neighborhood was, quite literally, his and his family's world, which is what made finding the killer so easy. An 18-year-old boy living next door, Hector Mungia, was soon identified as the attacker by Zale's relatives. Soon enough, Benton County deputies and Kennewick police officers surrounded the area, searching for him. Unfortunately, besides a bloody palm print on Zale's fence, there weren't many clues he had left behind as he ran away. For the next 3 days, officers had hit a dead end, thinking that they would have to resort to a manhunt in order to find him. On Monday morning, April 25th, that changed. A woman walked into the Benton County Sheriff's Office with Hector following close behind. That woman was Hector's mom, and she had forced him to turn himself in. Now, with the killer falling into their hands, detectives had one question. Why did he do this?
Okay. So I'll just have you tell me why you're here, and then we'll talk a little bit more in detail after that.
Well, I turned myself in because I murdered the neighbor.
The neighbor? Okay. Your neighbor there on Gum Street?
Yeah.
Okay. And when did that happen?
I don't even know. I can't even remember the date.
Okay. Was it recent, or was it?
It was recent.
Is that the one that we were at there at your house over the weekend? Okay. All right. So tell me what happened.
I just seen him. He was there in his garden, and he started mowing his lawn. I was just waiting for the perfect time, and I just went up to him and I started. And then
Okay. And what happened after that?
Another woman came out. I seen her and I just took off on him, and then went to my house.
Okay. So let's just start from the beginning. Okay. How long have you lived at this house on Go?
5 years.
Okay. And do you know your neighbors in the area there at all? Okay. And you said that you were waiting for the perfect opportunity. So can you explain to me what that's about?
Well, I seen him, and so I don't know. It's because I kept hearing voices, like I don't know, and then I just grabbed a knife and I went to my fence where there's a little house and there's a fence. I went to the driveway and I just sat there, and he was just mowing his lawn, and I was just waiting. I was waiting. Well, I guess I could put it like this. I was waiting for me to get courage to do it, and so he was getting close to me to do his mowing, and then that's when I just took off at him and I started.
In just over 3 minutes after his rights are read, Hector has confessed to the entire murder. But it isn't anywhere near complete. Why had he chosen the man living next door, someone he had known by sight for years? And why an elderly man mowing his lawn in his own front yard in the middle of the afternoon?
And where did you get the knife from?
The kitchen.
Can you describe what the knife looks like?
It's about this long. It has a little. It's little. The where you grab it from, it's black and it's small.
And you grabbed it from which kitchen?
The kitchen.
From your house?
Yeah.
Okay. And what did you do after you him? Can you just kind of tell me? So you went up to him. Was he on the mower still?
Yeah.
And was he facing you or facing?
No,
you?
he was facing his house.
The other way?
Yeah.
And then you came up behind him or from the side or?
Behind him.
Okay. And then what's the first thing you did when you got to him?
Right here.
Okay. And what happened after you?
He started screaming and he fell to the floor. And then after that, I knew I did something bad, so I was like, I'm not trying to go to jail, you know? So I had to kill him, you know, so I wouldn't go to jail, so I went at him again. In the neck. He started tussling on the floor. I started in the back, right here in the neck, in the back a couple times. Right here again, a couple times. And then in the arms, and I think I right here in the face too. And that's when the lady came out.
What happened when the lady came out?
I seen her. I ran back to some bushes, and then after that, jumped over my fence. I went to my house. I went to the bathroom. I took a shower. I took off all the clothes and I hid it in my room. And the knife, I threw it on the neighbor's yard.
Which neighbor's yard?
The other one, the one with the big house. The other one.
The one on the other side of your house? Yeah. Okay. What part of did you throw it?
I threw it straight, like, next to the other houses. I threw it back there. But it was on the neighbor's yard.
So were you trying, like, in their yard or out on top of the house? Or
no, I just threw it on the yard.
Okay. All right. So it was after you hid in the bushes that you then jumped your fence. And which fence did you jump?
The closest one right there, the one that you guys cut off.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one I jumped.
That's the one you jumped. Okay. And then you went where after that?
I went to my backyard. Inside my room. I went from my room. I went to the shower. I washed off my hand of my. Oh no! Before I went to my room, before I went inside the house, that's when I was thinking of what to do with the knife. And I didn't like. I was thinking fast but calm. So then I just threw it across the yard. And that's when I went inside. And then I went to my room, from the room to my bathroom, and I washed off. I took off the clothes. I started washing. I took a shower, and then I put on a new set of clothes, and I just waited.
The bloody palm print on the fence was the one piece of evidence police had been able to lift from the scene, and now Hector had just walked them through exactly how it got there.
What clothes were you wearing that day?
A black shirt and some camel white shorts and some sandals, no socks.
Okay. So that was everything you were wearing that day? You weren't wearing pants or anything like that? No. Okay. You took a shower, and then what did you say you did with the clothes?
I hid it, the shirt. I left it in the bathroom, in the shorts. I sleep in the laundry room, and in the laundry room there's a boiler, and I hid it in the boiler.
What do you mean in the boiler? Like
not in the boiler, but it's because in the laundry room there's a big white box. It's like that, but bigger.
Okay.
And then you go open it. It has a big door, and the boiler's in there. There's some extra space around it. I just threw it the short thing.
And they're still in there.
Yeah, they're still.
And the shoes you were wearing, where are they?
In the bathroom.
They're still there.
Yeah.
Okay. And can you describe those shoes for me?
The sandals.
They're sandals. Can you describe
Nike, all black. It has the Nike sign on it. That's white.
Okay. And then the shirt is where?
In the bathroom too. It's an all black T-shirt. It's not cotton. It's like that type of material.
And then, but that's in the bathroom.
Yeah.
Where in particular in the bathroom?
I think my mom was cleaning the bathroom up, so I don't know. I went in there this morning. I had my some sweaters I would mine, but I don't know. I didn't see the shirt, so I don't know if she grabbed it.
Okay. And is there any of the clothes you're wearing?
On the shorts and the shirt.
Okay. Did you get cut or injured at all? No. So you're not hurt at all?
No.
Okay. So let's go back a little bit towards the beginning of the day. About what time did you get up that day?
I was at work that day. I came back around 12, and then we went to. I don't know what I forgot, but I remember that I came back home. I showered, and after I showered, I grabbed a knife. Well, I always have a knife on me. Like in my laundry room, I had a couple of knives, but I lost them. And so I went to my kitchen and I grabbed another one. And so I went back to the laundry room and I went back outside. And for some reason, I just started walking all the way to the back of my other yard. And I got on top of some tires and I see the neighbor. And that's when I just got the idea to do it.
Did you know he was there before you walked outside?
No.
But you already had the knife with you?
No.
Okay.
I can't remember really if I had it on me or not, but.
And so why did you go out and get on top of the tires?
I don't know. That goes back to the voices.
From here on out, you'll see one of the worst performances in interrogation history.
So tell me about the voices you're talking about.
I don't know. They just say kill somebody and that's it. There's not a lot to it. I mean, there is a lot, but it just won't make sense. You know?
Mm-hmm. Well, I would still like for you to tell me. You're right. It probably won't make sense, but I want to make sure that I understand what happened and what's been going on with you. So maybe we can start with a simple, easier question. When did you first start hearing the voices you're talking about?
I've been hearing for a couple of years now. I've been going to I don't like going to counseling, but I did before. Like I got out December of last year. Well, I was in the people always told me that I look that I just didn't look right, you know. And so they're like, "Oh yeah, you need to take some counseling and everything." I'm like, "All right," but I didn't want to do it, and I would always tell them that I would hear voices.
You would tell who
the counselors.
Counselors.
Yeah.
Okay. And so you went. You said you got in trouble before for doing something too. And where was that?
Before that I stole that same day. I stole a liquor bottle and I drank it, and then I had a knife on me that day too.
Although his juvenile record was sealed, this was far from Hector's first violent offense. In December of 2019, when he was just 16 years old, Hector approached another 70-year-old, Lydia, as she was getting out of her car at an apartment building on South Washington Street in Kennewick. He asked her for money, which Lydia promptly refused to give. Hector's response was to ask her if he could tell her something, and then quite literally her in the back. Fortunately, Lydia survived her injuries, and Hector was caught later that day for stealing beer from a Circle K, and was eventually sentenced to up to 2.5 years in a Washington juvenile facility for second-degree assault. He was released in December of 2021. Now, 4 months after that incident, Zale became his next victim.
And these voices you're talking about, are they just like thoughts that you have, or do you actually hear like people?
No, they're thoughts.
They're just thoughts that you have in your mind?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have other kinds of thoughts in your mind that are the same thing, but just telling you different things, or can you tell me some of those?
I mean, they're just what you say they are. They like make me feel different. They make me have different moods every day.
Okay. All right. So when you got home, what time did you leave work that day?
7:30.
Okay. And where do you work?
I work. I do I don't know what it would be called, but it's a company like they do fencing, they do like the backyards.
What's the name of the company?
I didn't get the name. I just started that work a couple of days ago. No, not a couple of days. I've only worked there for 2 days.
Okay. And how did you get the job?
My stepdad, he had a friend, and that friend called him. He called me.
And do you work with people, or do you just go by yourself and do work?
By myself.
Okay. So when you go to work each day, do you report to somebody?
Mm.
How do you know where to go to work?
He picks me up.
And what's his name?
I didn't even get his name.
The guy that picked you up?
Yeah.
Okay. So that guy picked you up that morning, and you went to work. And do you remember what you did that day at work?
Yeah, we were putting grass on the house.
Like sod, the pieces of grass, and
that wood.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And who was working with you that day?
It was just me and him.
Just you and that guy?
Yeah.
Okay. Did anything happen that day? Okay. And you got home about what time?
12, I think. Yeah, because it was a half day.
And what did you do when you got home?
I can't remember really.
Did anything happen that stood out to you before you went out and got into tires?
Mm.
Did you talk to anybody that day after you got home?
Mm.
Who was home when you got home at noon?
Mom and my brother.
Okay. Which brother? Ryan? Yeah. And did anybody else come and go that day to come visit you at the house, or anybody else? And then when you decided to go out to the yard, what were you going to go out and do in the yard?
Nothing really. I just really just go out. Like, it's because at home we have we have family problems too, so I just go out there and relax. But I'll be going outside a lot. We have a bike. I'm taking out to go to the store. I go to Passport.
Okay.
But I've been walking back and forth at my in the backyard.
So you went out to the yard, you got on the tires, and then you saw someone mowing the lawn. Did you know who it was?
Yeah.
Okay. And how do you know him?
Because I would always before I got locked up, I'd always walk up his driveway to go to the dam, and I would always see him.
Okay. And did you get along with him?
No.
Were there problems that you had with him, or you just didn't know him?
I didn't know him. I just really didn't. We never talked.
Okay. And do you remember what the person looked like that was on the lawnmower?
Yeah, he's white, had white hair, had a black t-shirt, jeans. He had his phone on him.
And how did he have his phone on him?
Right here on the side of his jeans.
Okay. So it was clipped onto his jeans?
Yeah.
Okay. And you saw him, and then what thoughts came into your mind at the time? What were you thinking about?
Just
okay. And do you know why that came to your mind?
Yeah.
Why is that?
I don't know. Like, it's like these voices tell me like, oh yes, because I don't understand them saying like, oh yes, but like it's like spirit, like a god or something. But
so that day that this happened, what was it what thoughts came to your mind specifically that day? I know you said, then you talked about spirit stuff. Is that what happened that day, or what exactly was it that you remember thinking?
I don't know. It's just like you kill somebody, you get something in return, I guess.
That's what you heard when you looked over the fence and saw him? And what did you think about that? What did you think that meant?
I don't know. I mean, money, I guess. I don't know. But
What did you think money?
because I don't know, these voices always told me, like, I don't know how to explain it, man. It's like it's just right there, you know. It's just, that's what it was. Like, it, just kill somebody and you get money in return. I'll put it like that. But it could have been anything, you know. It could have been good luck. It could have been I don't know what else to say.
Let's take a moment to put Hector's story together. He had come from his fencing job around noon, showered, grabbed a knife from his kitchen, and walked to the back of his yard. He climbed on top of some tires near the fence and looked over when he saw Zale. From here on out, he starts blaming the voices, saying he'd get something in return if he attacked and murdered one. But he can't articulate what that promised reward actually was. Not because he doesn't remember, but because he could have asked for nothing more in life. He had a fresh job, a loving family, and a relatively stable life. Hector had absolutely no reason to harm a man who, according to his own admission, had never said a word to him. What he did have was a kitchen knife and a clear view of an unsuspecting elderly man with his back turned. And he tells the detective exactly why he chose Zale.
Okay. And you said you don't remember if you already had the knife or not?
I think I did have it. I think.
Okay. Do you know why you would have had it already?
Because I would always try to do, like, I would try to kill somebody before, but it wouldn't come out successful.
What do you mean?
I'm not successful, but it's like there's not. I don't know.
Was that the first time that you left your house with a knife or anything else with the intention of looking for somebody to kill? Or has that happened before and you just never found anybody?
Yeah. Well, no, actually, no. That was the first time.
That was the first time that that's happened like that?
Yeah.
Okay. Have there been other instances where you've hurt somebody and just so you haven't told anybody about it?
No, this is the second time.
Do you know why you specifically look for older people?
Because they're easier targets, I guess.
Okay.
Just like that, Hector's real reasoning for the murder has come out. It wasn't the voices, demons, or delusions. It was just a 19-year-old looking for the easiest target he could find, and a frail 70-year-old man turned out to be the perfect one.
And then that was a couple of days ago when this happened. What's been going on since then?
I don't know, man. That just been feeling different. I was thinking of calling the cops, checking myself in, but I don't murder a lot of years, so I don't know what to do. Okay, so I just didn't do it. But my mom, I don't know, she would act weird too, but.
And how did you tell your mom what happened, or how did she find out?
I mean, she knows me. She knows me. She knows when I do something. She knows. She just knows me. She knows when I get something. Mm-hmm. And then that's it. Because these past days I would walk back and forth in the house.
Mm-hmm. And when was it that you told her what happened?
I didn't tell her. She just knows.
Okay. So why are you here? Did she bring you in?
Yeah.
Okay. So you haven't told her yet that you did it?
But she noticed that I did.
What do you mean she noticed?
It's because my behavior changes, and so she notices, and I think she noticed She was like, I don't know, but she just decided to turn me in. Well, I mean, I wanted to do it myself, but I didn't want to, like, break her heart, knowing that her son was going in for murder. So.
While Hector spent the weekend pacing his house and trying to decide whether he should call the cops himself, his mother was watching him. Although she didn't know it at the time, she did grow suspicious and confronted Hector over it, finding out that he was involved in the murder. After which, she drove him to the Benton County Sheriff's Office that Monday morning and turned her own son in for murder. It's one of the hardest things any parent could ever be asked to do, and it's the only reason officers got their hands on him.
How are you feeling about it now?
Something I regret?
Yeah. You regret it because you know it's wrong, or you regret it for another reason?
I regret it because it was wrong, and because I should have never done it. Yeah.
So when you were waiting for that perfect time, did you know it was wrong then, what you were about to do?
Yeah, but I didn't care.
Tell me about your thought process when you were waiting. You said that you thought it was wrong, but you didn't care. So
I wasn't thinking it was wrong. I already knew it was wrong. So I was there.
When did you know that you were going to go kill someone?
I don't know.
Did you think about it at work?
No.
So when you got home?
Yeah.
Before or after your shower? From work?
Before.
And then when did the voices start?
A couple of years back.
Well, that day, when did the voices start?
Afterward.
After you killed them?
Yeah. It's always when I go to their house. But.
So the voices didn't tell you to kill him that day. You killed him and then heard the voices.
No. It's like the voices, like I told them, they're not really voices, they're just like thoughts that tell me that. But they just stay there.
So when you were lying in the wait right there for that perfect moment to go up to him, you already knew it was wrong. You were having that internal conversation with yourself about it. You said you're trying to work up the courage. Tell me how that process was. How did you get the courage to do it?
Oh, it just happened. Like I was just standing there telling myself, like, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna try to do it fast and easy. And then I'm gonna do it when he's not looking. And when he came, his back was turning to me. That's what I did.
So from the moment you decided to go forward with that courage, you say, how long were you thinking about murdering someone on that day? When did the thought come into your mind that I'm going to go somebody?
I don't know. I guess with the knife, I guess.
So how long did you think about it before you actually did it?
A couple of minutes.
A few minutes.
Yeah.
And he said, please stop, nothing else. Did you think it would go quicker than it did?
Yeah.
How did it play out in your mind when you were working up that courage?
I just knew it was going to be easy because if you just let somebody in the neck, they'll bleed out quick and they'll pass out. They'll pass away.
And so, before you went up to him and you're thinking about that, did you think it would just be like a one-step thing and it'd be done?
No.
So, after one time he fell off, and then tell me what happened. How did you get to him?
I walked up to him, like, I just chased him everywhere he went.
So was he running?
No, he wasn't running. He fell to the floor, and I was right there.
Okay. So the lawnmower, right? You marked that where it was. So when he fell off, did you have to go in front of the lawnmower?
No, like, towards the way that he fell.
Okay. Did he try to crawl away? Did he try to get up?
No.
Nothing. Okay. You said he grabbed the white pole and hit you one time?
Yeah.
Where were you at when that was happening?
I was there.
Right. Were you on top of him? On the side of him?
No, on the side.
On the side. Were you ever on top of him? Never on top of him. Did he grab you?
Mm-hmm.
He didn't touch you at all. Just hit you one time with the pole.
Yeah,
Kicked you. Where did he kick you at?
just a leg.
Okay. So how did you get on your shin?
Because when it started, it just came out.
Okay. So it's the first started coming out?
No, the first, it was the second.
On the second, that's when it started coming. So you hit the neck first, and then you fell off in the neck again. Yeah. And then you just started. Where else?
I was mostly, I in the stomach. I just wherever I could reach.
Okay. And then the voices told you that there would be some kind of reward.
Yeah.
But they didn't say what kind of reward. And they're not voices, they're thoughts.
Yeah.
Are those thoughts your own voice?
It's like I don't know. I would say yes, but it's like a no at the same time.
So why him?
That was the person I saw, the first person.
So if you would have saw somebody else, it would have been somebody else. There's no reason for that individual. There's nothing he said to you that made you upset, that caused you to want to get back at him for anything. Okay. I don't have anything else.
Okay, I think that's it. Is there anything else that you haven't already told us or that we haven't asked you that you think is important for us to know about what happened? Or about anything else that you think we should know?
Ultimately, Hector was charged with first-degree murder and booked into the Benton County Jail on a 72-hour investigative hold. In December of 2023, he pleaded guilty to first-degree murder. At his sentencing in March of 2024, prosecutors asked for 30 years. The judge ultimately sentenced him to approximately 22 and a half years in a Washington state prison, after finding that his juvenile offenses, including the 2019 stabbing of Lydia Cassaway, counted toward his sentencing range. Thanks for watching. 80% of everyone watching isn't subscribed. If this is the kind of content you stick around for, subscribing helps us keep making exactly this. It's free and it goes a long way. If you'd love to watch more videos just like this, check out one of our best cases right here, or our latest upload right here.